Ladies and gentlemen, I just came across one of the greatest chess games I have ever seen. I have no idea how I have not seen this game up until today, and in this video, I would like to share this game with you. It's Grandmaster Wesley So with the white pieces, Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura with the black pieces. You may know one or both or none of these individuals, and we are in 2015 in a tournament in St. Louis called the Singfield Cup. It's actually 2023, and I'm currently in New York City, and it's the first day that the sun is out in about 2 weeks because that's typical New York weather, but this game was played in 2015, and it is absolutely sensational. Folks, have any of you ever had a brilliant move in a chess game? Played a game, and that little blue thing illuminated, and it just like made your whole day, made your whole week? Well, in this game, Hikaru played six brilliant moves in one game. Normally in my videos, I cover things from white's perspective because that's just the way chess always works. Like, you just look at it like this. But in this video, I'm showing you the game from Hikaru's perspective. Just enjoy. Just don't ask any questions. Ignore the sidebar. I know you probably got some Minecraft there, probably got some Tommy in it, George Not Found, some sports stuff. I don't know what you watch on YouTube. God, I really don't want to know what you watch on YouTube. But just ignore that. All right, just watch this video from start to finish. Yes, because I get the watch time and the retention rate, and I understand all of that, but also because, oh my God. Oh my, let's go. D4, all right? And keep in mind that we are in 2015. In 2015, Hikaru was the second highest rated chess player in the world. Hikaru is number one, number two in speed chess with Magnus Carlsen, no question. But in 2015, he was also number one, number two with him in slow chess. This was peak Hikaru, and he was playing the King's Indian Defense, which in 2023, the Grandmasters will not touch with a 10-foot pole. Because this opening has been proven in the very strong computer era to be very difficult to handle. The positional setbacks that black endures, such as a catastrophic lack of space, breathing for oxygen as white tries to take away all your game plans over here, is just too difficult. All right, it's just very, very hard to deal with. So nowadays in 2023 and beyond, nobody's playing like this. But back in the day, everybody was giving this opening a shot, and there was no practitioner of the King's Indian Defense quite like Hikaru. This man knew this opening better than it knew itself. That doesn't even make sense, but it sounded epic, all right? Bishop e2, this is the main line, and black's idea is to go e5. Now, nerds with the white pieces and wimps with the white pieces take this pawn and then trade the queen and try to, no, that would be nice. And then they try to trade and then they make a draw, all right? This is one way that white can sort of kill all the fun, but it's not the way to play for an advantage, and so people normally castle, and black tries to induce the move d5, all right? You know that scene when, I'm gonna spoil Harry Potter for you. You have 5 seconds to pause in case you haven't seen it for some reason if you live under a rock. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, so you know how like in the final, right before the final battle in the movie between Harry and Voldemort, when they jump off the balcony together, you know, let's finish this the way we started it, Tom, together. Well, knight c6 d5 is essentially that. Let's close the cage, you and me, let's go. All right? Make sure that when you throw the jab, that you got the shoulder here to block the counter. That's what I learned in boxing class. Knight e7. When this locks, here's the plan. Black is going to move mountains to attack white here. White is going to deal with that and attack black here. All right? Kind of at the source of the whole thing. All right? So the knights get out of the way. All right? It's like, you know those fight videos we like to enjoy on the internet? Well, this is like when the people clear out, and here they go. Just let them fight. Let them fight. Or, you know, you see somebody, nowadays, fight videos on the internet all over the place. But, and bishop e3 and f4, and there it is, all right? Hikaru is launching his pawns forward, and Wesley with the white pieces is saying, your attack is stupid, all right? And it's unsophisticated. And my attack is sophisticated because you're trying to, you know, barbarically go for my king, and I'm trying to take a little bit of space on the queen side and induce a weakness, and then maybe get my knight in here, and then maybe trade off your bishop because your bishop is an anchor to your attack. And black is just like, must checkmate white or I will lose. So Hikaru plays g5, right? And I mean, in a nutshell, this is what the King's Indian is. Hikaru has probably had this position in some sort of practice or training no less than, I don't know, a couple hundred of times, if not thousands. All right, knight goes to d3, and every one of these moves is like a book move. This has all been played before. b4 is going to happen, c5 is going to happen. Now, in this position, black can play a couple of things. Black can acknowledge white's incoming arrival. Hikaru plays knight g6, which this computer game review gives an inaccuracy, but this computer game review can, you know, frankly, shut up, okay? That's what it can do. That's what it can just shut up. That could just, you don't know what Hikaru's trying to do, bro. So, enough. Hikaru probably prepared this with a much deeper engine than this guy, whatever stockfish this is. So here comes Wesley. I told you this is the plan, right? I told you this is the plan. Hikaru plays knight f6. Wesley brings his rook. Hikaru plays rook f7. Why is Hikaru playing rook f7? Two reasons. One, you would like to defend c7. Seriously, if white does this, and then plays knight b5, c7 is already protected. Because then you can play a6. If you don't play rook f7, then after the move h5, white can play take, knight b5, and then by the time you play rook f7, it's too late. And I have arrived, and the thing about this entire attack for black is it literally hinges on this bishop. If black has to get trades down here, this attack loses its power. So this absurd move, rook f7, is actually an extremely sophisticated approach by black. And then that rook will join the party. So Wesley plays king h1. So, Wesley. Stiff neck. And now Hikaru plays h5, and now we have takes, and there it is. All right? So Wesley... His name is literally Wesley So Wesley. I'm not doing it on purpose. This is the way I speak. All right? I'm sorry. Guys, you ever have a day you finished nearly 3 coffees and you still feel tired? No? Is that just me? Do I have a problem? I don't know. I'll talk about that with my therapist. Hikaru plays a6, and in this position, Wesley plays knight a3, and for the first time in this game, black is better. Now, here's the thing, okay? Sometimes in chess positions, a person has an advantage, but it's difficult to prove because you have to play in a very sophisticated way. Not in the King's Indian. In the King's Indian defense, if black is better, the game is over. The game is just over. Why? Because look at this. I once said a long time ago in a video, you can't stop an avalanche with a horse. I have no idea what that means, and frankly, that could be used as testimony in an insane asylum's kind of situation, but you can't stop an avalanche with a horse. In this case, there are no horses. You can't stop an avalanche with whatever. Like, if this gets here, it's game over. The king will be brought out by his hair, okay? So, b5. Now this knight cannot get back into the game. This is weakened, so maybe knight b4, knight c6 is possible. But Hikaru's just going to keep attacking over here. He doesn't care about no knight c6. And what? He's not going to hang his queen. And then what? This brick wall of pawns is really, really tough for white to break through. So in this position, Wesley plays rook c6, okay? And obviously the idea of rook c6 is he's trying to apply some pressure, maybe apply pressure like this. And just so you're aware, a move like bishop b7 is actually not a huge problem because white doesn't mind giving away the rook. White actually would be fine giving away the rook for that bishop because that bishop is so important to black's attack. So Hikaru here plays g4. Which is naturally a very clear follow-up to his entire attack. Now, if you're bored, okay, and you haven't seen the 6 brilliant moves yet, these are some of the best chess players in the world. You're not going to have 6 brilliancies in the first 20 moves, okay? Because even one of them hung a queen, you can't get 6 brilliancies. Like, Chess.com's game review does not give you 6 brilliant moves for beating up somebody when they're dead lost, all right? That's like me finding it impressive you walk to your local playground and beat up a 3-year-old. Okay, now again, if you're 4 or under and you're watching this for some reason, if you're 4 years old and under and you beat up a 3-year-old, that's actually impressive. For legal reasons, I'm not condoning you to do that, but I'm just like, that's more impressive than you doing it right now if you're 15 or 30 or 45 or do people exist beyond the age of 45? I don't even know. In any case, so g4, okay, queen c2, and now Hikaru plays queen f8. You don't get 6 brilliant moves beating somebody when they're completely lost. you get 6 brilliant moves, beating somebody on equal terms. That's when it's impressive. In the words of Chael Sonnen, mixed martial arts fighter, GOAT, not GOAT, but, you know, people's GOAT, turned commentator and analyst, if you beat somebody that you know you're going to beat, that's bullying. There has to be a mysterious element as to whether or not you're going to win the game. Then it's actually competitive. Rook c1, bishop d7, rook c7, and as you can see, Wesley is just sort of potentially holding on to the hope that this sacrifice will come in handy. But as you can see from Hikaru's position, the attack has arrived. The attack has arrived. And if Wesley plays the move h3, Hikaru will be taking, because if he goes here, that only looks aesthetic, but actually the attack is very much slowed down, and you know he'll have to sacrifice to get in. Whereas this is, yeah, that's open. G3 is up for grabs. Knight h5, knight g3 is on the way. Rook is going to come down. It's a very, very bad situation. So fg4 by Wesley, and essentially from this point forward, a series of brilliancies begins. Okay. My Siri thought I said something about Siri. Okay. First of all, f takes g4. Hikaru does not take back. Instead, he plays the move f3. That does not yet count as a brilliancy. The idea is obviously to take the rook, right? That's why he did that. That's why he sacrificed this pawn. Okay? Hikaru is now down 2 pawns. So, seeing as though he's down 2 pawns, he now captures the... What? Well, my friends, it's time. You are about to witness one of the most spectacular sequences of moves that you have probably seen in a chess game that does not involve your 200 elo friend. Hikaru here sacrifices first the knight, brilliant move number 1. The idea of this sacrifice is that after f takes e4, rook f1 check cannot be taken because it's checkmate, and if king g2, the king is brutally hunted out with a sequence of moves. So knight takes c4, but no problem, Wesley's just not going to take the knight. Well, that's too bad Wesley's not going to take the knight, because in this position, after sacrificing his knight, Hikaru is going to sacrifice, you guessed it, the rook! Rook takes f3, 2 brilliant moves! And there's 4 more to go. This dude just played back-to-back more brilliant moves than you'll probably see in your entire life. And this man's got 4 more to go. He ain't done. Rook f3. Can't be taken because queen f3, can't block, take the rook, king g1, bishop e3, here it's mate very soon. Rook f3, 2. Now Wesley takes the bishop. The most incredible thing about the move rook takes f3 is that not only are you sacrificing a knight and a rook, you're also sacrificing a bishop. There is just a purely hanging bishop here, and Wesley takes it and is now up 3 points of material. But that's great, because if you didn't take my rook when it was on f3, certainly you might take it when it's on f1. 3 brilliant moves. Cannot be taken. King to g2. And in this position, with now the bishop staring straight down at the rook and the king, Hikaru plays bishop to e3. 4 brilliant moves. The idea of bishop e3 is setting up rook g1 check, and the bishop cannot actually take the rook, because if it does, pawn sneaks in. Only option is to go here, queen f3 check, and knight g5. Done. Call the coroner. 4 brilliant moves. Bishop g3. Everything is staring at everything else. Wesley is trying to sacrifice material. Now, obviously Hikaru cannot take on g3, because then the rook would take, and then the attack would be kind of stopped. So instead of h takes g3, Hikaru played h takes g3, 5 brilliant moves. 5 and 1 more to go. What is the idea? Well, this is the idea, folks. This is the idea, because after rook takes f1, now that the pawn moves off of the h4 square, knight h4 check, king comes out, and now it's time for the walk of shame. Queen h6. This man Hikaru is down 5 points of material. I would argue he's down 10. This rook hasn't even moved. This rook hasn't even moved yet. The only way for Wesley to avoid getting checkmated here in a variety of brutal fashions is to play g5. Knight takes g5, and now king to g4. And folks, you might ask yourself, where are the 6 brilliant moves? You've only showed me 5. If you thought Hikaru was in the business of sacrificing only bishops and rooks, No. Knight f3. With the idea that if you take the knight, swift execution. What a checkmate on h3. And if you take the knight with the rook, the same thing. And the other thing is, I now completely block all of your pieces. I am just threatening this. You have a few ways of getting out of this situation. You can play knight to f2. And now, Hikaru ends the game with utmost precision by playing queen to h4 check, king to f5, and the rook gets a turn. Rook f8 check, king to g6. He sacrifices the rook again. King takes f6. Double check with the knight and the queen. King g6. Queen g5. Check. Mate. Aren't you glad you watched the entire game? This man, Hikaru, played h4 and then proceeded to play f3, knight e4, rook f3, rook f1, bishop e3, hg, walk the king out to the edge of the board, sacrifice the knight, and what a journey for the white king, brutalized in the most egregious of fashions. What a win. 6 brilliant moves in one game. More brilliant moves in one game than some of us will get in a year. Not a lifetime. Hopefully not a lifetime. Aren't you glad you watched this full video? I'm sure glad you watched this full video. That was sick. That was ridiculous. I got nothing to, I'm just happy I could share this with you. That's it. I got no outro. This video is not sponsored by anything. Just enjoy your day. Play more chess. Maybe one day you'll do something like this from the white side. Get out of here.